Yo, what is going on, guys? Today I have the Victorian Room deck of playing cards by the Blue Crown to review. In today's review, I'll be going over why this tuck case seems to be my favorite tuck case of them all. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump straight into what the tuck case is made of. Starting off with the front of the tuck case, you get what you get with most other decks now in today's market. That is a lot of foil on the front of the box. Now this isn't necessarily a bad thing, it's just very repetitive, but the Blue Crown managed to pull it off and it looks so fantastic with that color scheme, which kind of looks like a fall color scheme, maybe more October, November-y kind of feel to it. It's very warm and soft, subtle colors. The maroon, the gold, and the red all blend in so great. And that thing that you're looking at right there seems to be silver, but it's actually a shiner, which can help you cheat, which I don't condone, and it also helps you take a peek at some certain cards when you're doing your magic routine, which is something that could help magicians out there. Now, I will talk to you about that shiner in just a second. I'd like to point out the fact that it's not so great. As you can see, my camera doesn't look very clear, and it just looks more like a black object. You can't really even make out the picture there on that mirror, meaning that it's going to be very hard to peek at a card, but I will show you and demonstrate how that would look in just a second. The sides of the tuck case are blank, including the top, but the bottom shows you where the deck was printed and by who. It was printed in Taipei by the Expert Playing Card Company, which will give you a very, very reminiscent feeling of what other decks of cards are out there by the Expert Playing Card Company. On the tab here, you get Ace Victoria with a top hat and a wand. The tabs have nothing, but the inside of the box has this beautiful old antique wallpaper look to it, which is incredible. The back of the tuck case shows you the back design of the deck, and what I love most about this is that cutout in the center, which reveals the centerpiece of the design of the deck of cards. And as for that shiner feature on the front of the box, as mentioned, it's very difficult to take a look at the reflection of a card. Now, the closer you get to it, the easier it gets. Now, when you're palming a card or wanting to get a peek of a card, I don't know how close you're going to be able to get to the shiner without getting caught. But as you can see there, that is pretty close, if you ask me, for that reflection. So yeah, it looks pretty good if you're that close, but as soon as you start pulling it away, you're going to start to see that it gets harder and harder to even make out what it is. Yeah, you can tell it's a spade, but if we take a look at the two here on the corner, it's very difficult. So that is how that looks. So overall, the tuck case is beautiful. You get this antique look to it with very warm, subtle colors. You get floral patterns, and it gives you a sense of a wonderful piece of art, which I truly think it is. So now the important part, and that is the actual cards that come inside this beautiful box. Along with the beautiful box, you get a beautiful back design. That back design matches everything as was on the box. For example, a lot of the decks nowadays come with tons of foil on the back design that the box looks even better than the deck of cards does inside. Now, I think this back design does that tuck case justice. The back design is what you had seen on the tuck case here, but except with a different color. It uses more browns. The thing that I like about it though is that you get these shadows that make the back design look 3D. It looks like it's kind of out there. It looks almost like a tattoo design as well, with the roses on each corner. You get that beautiful timeless watch face in the center, and that is what makes up the back design. In a spread, they look very normal for magicians, but the back design as well will intrigue cardists and collectors alike. The deck of cards is printed by the Expert Playing Card Company, which means that you are going to get this waxy, plasticky feeling out of the deck, which is like none other. If you guys own a boardwalk paper, if you own a classic gold, if you own a exquisite bull deck, you are going to get the same feel. That is how this deck feels. It feels exactly the same as all those decks. So moving on to the faces of the cards, well, you're looking at one of them right now. The deck includes a double-backed card, and it includes some very unique aces, but as well as standard faces. at least to the Expert Playing Card Company, because if you have the exquisite bold deck, the classic gold, if you have the boardwalk papers, you're going to get the same design when it comes to the spot cards. Spot cards look very, very simple, but they do look better than the bicycle ones in my opinion, or the United States Playing Card Company printed ones. I guess it's because it's a different look and a feel. The aces in the deck are pretty damn cool. I'll pull them out for you. Here we have the Ace of Diamonds, very intricate detail around it. The Ace of Spades, Ace of Hearts, and the Ace of Clubs. The aces are very elegant and beautiful, in my opinion. One of my favorite aces that come with a deck of cards. That is just beautiful. Alongside that, you get two jokers. The two jokers say what the tab on the box says, and that is Ace Victoria with the same top hat and wand there. One is going to be a maroon color and one is going to be a brownish blackish color. Those would be the two jokers that come with this deck of cards. So moving on to the handling portion of the deck. The deck handles exceptionally well. I feel like it handles better than the Exquisite Bold, and for that reason alone is because it doesn't have that hot stamp star in the center of the deck, which makes it clump up in the center. The fans are going to look much nicer in this deck. It's going to feel a lot slicker than the Exquisite Bold deck, and kind of again reminds me of the Boardwalk Papers. If you've ever felt a Boardwalk Papers deck, this is kind of same thing. The stock is very plasticky feeling, waxy feeling, but it's paper, which gives you the best of both worlds in that sense, because the cards don't bend so easily and they snap right into their exact position once you're done springing them or lapel spreading them. Again, with the Pharaoh shuffles, those are very difficult to do with an Expert Playing Card Company deck. I haven't managed to perfect them. This is printed by the Expert Playing Card Company in Taiwan, I believe. I know the box says Taipei, but I think I've heard Taiwan before. It's a different manufacturer, and the way they make their cards is very unique and rewarding to feel. So if you're used to feeling a USPCC deck and you've never felt one of these, I recommend getting your hands on this deck right here, or the Boardwalk Papers, that will give you a very, very excellent description of what I am talking about. The stock is kind of hard at first. I've been playing with this deck here for a while, about a day now, and it's not so flexible, but it's very snappy, and I like that. The springs come out great because the paper is so snappy. It's kind of hard and snappy. It just snaps back into place. So the springs are always nice. But that should be fun to play with. Your spreads, they look nice as well. They're very even. I don't have a lot of room to spread the actual deck here, so it might not look so even there, but guaranteed that's super easy to do. When it comes to cutting the deck and separating it into small packets, that's an easy task as well. The waxy feeling provides this kind of suction towards each card, or the finish. I don't know what it is, but the cards always tend to want to stay stuck to each other. I don't know if that makes any sense. If I try to release them, they kind of tend to stay in their groups until you spread them. So it's a very unique feel. You guys should feel it. It's kind of like butter, if that makes any sense. Dribbles are effortless as well, and just as I mentioned, the Pharaoh shuffles will be a little difficult. I also don't want to bend or split the cards, so that is basically the deck in all its glory. It's a very, very pretty deck, and I plan a lot of you guys will pick this up after watching this review. If you guys have any questions or concerns about this video, if you guys want to leave something down in the comments, feel free to do so. I try to get back to everyone as soon as possible, and if I don't, I apologize. I have a long-awaited deck collection review coming soon as well. I don't know how soon, but I'll be sure to, get it out there as soon as possible. If you guys have any decks you'd like for me to review, leave it down in the comment section as well. As far as that, guys, that is pretty much the Victorian Room deck of playing cards. It's a very, very unique, beautiful deck of cards, and I recommend it for everybody out there. So that is it. Have a nice day, and I'll see you next time.